Hey friends, Olivia from Ollie. Between new routines and the ultimate group project known as parenting, you need science-backed solutions that work with your life. That's where Ollie comes in. Start your mornings off right with multis made to support nutrition and immune health. Choose from our lineup of gut-supporting probiotics, and we've got occasional sleep support to help the whole fam chase their big dreams. Head back to class with the #1 gummy supplement brand. Stock up on ollie.com today. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast. I am your host, JoAnn Crone. Hello, my Lolas. How are you? Oh, if you have a teenager or if you have a child who's going to be a teenager at some point, you need this episode. I'm talking to all the moms of teens directly right now. If your teenager has ever looked at you like you are the most frustrating person in existence and your very presence annoys them, and it wrecked you. This entire episode is for you. Before we get into it though, I want to tell you about a free event that I am hosting next week, August 10th through the 13th. This is huge, guys. This is huge. It's called the Mom Setting Boundaries Summit. And I have lined up 19 experts for you. We're going to delve into why you feel guilty about saying no, why you can't keep a boundary after you set it, and then you wind up caving and feeling like you're just the most awful person in the world at boundaries. And also how to even know if you need to set a boundary in the first place. Guys, this is going to be an incredible week. Go sign up. I have the link for you in the show notes. It is a total free ticket. And all the sessions are up for 24 hours after they're released. So if you're like, I can't make that during the day, go and sign up anyways. And also consider getting the VIP pass right after you sign up, because then you get the sessions for much longer than 24 hours, ongoing access, plus a workbook that I take you through each session. It's like having the speaker right beside you, watching the session with you and asking questions. That's how good this workbook is. So that's Mom Setting Boundaries. Link in the show notes. Go sign up. I will see you there live. And now let's get on with our show. So if you are the mom of a teen, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the frustration. It's the eye rolls. As one of my inner circle members describes it to me this morning, it's this feeling that you can't offer any insight or any advice to your teenager without getting a huge emotional reaction that you aggravate them or you frustrate them or you don't know anything at all, right? This is actually a completely normal part of development. That said, it doesn't mean that you have to strictly take it. And we're going to get into it in this episode about some of the boundaries you can set with your teen and some of the things that you can say during this time. But this is called emotional distancing. And as teens develop, they need to put this distance between themselves and their parents so they can figure out who they are as an individual and get ready to leave home. That's the job. It is not a personal attack on you. It is not a reflection of your own worth and your parenting. And I tell you this because this is something that I am telling myself over and over again during this time. I have a 17-year-old. She's getting ready to leave for college at the end of this month in August. And I'm dealing with a lot of my own feelings and emotions. It's hard. It is so, so hard. And I think that if we don't talk about this, we think it's us and we think it's only happening to us. And we think that we have wrecked our relationship with our teen in some way, that our teens just hate us as people. And that's not it at all. It's not it at all. It is so common and it's not a sign that anyone is doing anything wrong. But, we talk about things having kind of both ideas happening at the same time on this podcast, right? We can recognize why it's happening and what's going on, and we can use it to inform our own behavior and make some changes in us and make some growth happen in us that will benefit both us and our kid in the future. So you taking the time to listen to this. Oh, this is going to do you so much good. And I'm going to bring in some of the science and some of the research into this as well. Starting with, in 2005, Dutch researchers, they tracked nearly 2,800 teens and young adults from ages 12 to 24 for years as part of a long-running study. And they measured two things while kids aged. Ready? These two things is how much they leaned on their parents for support, right? All the moms of teens out there will be like, when does my teenager actually lean on me for support? I feel it. I feel you. And the second thing is how much of an identity they've built for themselves in relationships and in the wider world. And what they found was both were moving the whole time, that identity being built for themselves and also leaning on parents for support. Leaning on parents went down, identity went up. Same year, same kids, happening side by side. This goes kind of as a nuanced thing to this whole advice that you've heard often, that teenagers have to pull away. And only after they pull away, they develop their own identity. And this study shows no, they don't have to pull away completely first to develop their own identity. They're doing both at the same time. They don't have to break with you first in order to become someone. So that's really good to know, because it means that this process, it doesn't have to get worse and worse and worse and worse. Like the pulling away doesn't have to become so extreme before kids build their identity on their own. It's also something to note that teenagers, look for them to be building their own identity while they're pulling away from you. Look for them to be growing in these other skills as they seek you less out for support. I could see this in my own daughter. We went to this Teen Vogue Fest a couple weeks ago, and as part of this fest, there was kind of, think of it as speed dating for networking for teens. It was really cool. They had this room with small little tables, and at each table sat either an editor for Vogue or someone who worked in fashion PR. I mean, this was an unbelievable thing. If your kids are at all interested in the fashion world and in journalism and magazines, look for this event next year. And we went from table to table. During that time, my daughter, she asked the most thought-provoking questions. She kept the conversation going. And this was a side of her that I don't usually get to see as a parent. This is the side that she demonstrates to teachers, that her friends know about her, and part of her own identity. I was so proud. I was so proud after we came from that event, just seeing her be able to grow. Now, with that, it comes a little bit of pain on my end, because there has been a lot of emotional distancing, a lot of kind of pushing and pulling away. And my wake-up call really came when my daughter told me that she didn't want to be treated like a kid anymore. And this was pretty recently. She wanted to be treated the way that I treat my friends. And she has a point. At a certain age, kids need the tools to navigate the world without someone standing over them, telling them what to do. I think this is a huge mistake that a lot of parents make with teens. They see this pushback and then they're like, oh, pushback happens. I just need to tighten my reins and be stricter. And that's not what you should be doing at all. That's the time to loosen your grip. That is your child saying, hey, mom, I got this. Let me show my thing. And you use that as an opportunity to step back and let them amaze you. But it doesn't come without a little bit of pain, because the hard part, honestly, is it's hard to transition out of, because this is the relationship that you've had with your kids their entire lives. Like, you don't know how to relate to them any other way but as your child. And that is so difficult. So like looking inside yourself and being like, okay, I really need some support right now for myself as a human as I navigate throughout this change. I think it's a lot what people ask when, especially I go up to people and I'm like, yeah, my daughter's leaving for college at the end of the month. And they're like, how are you doing? And I get a little prickly when people ask that question because I don't see it as being about me. I see it as being about her. But this is the part they're asking about. It's the pain of really reconciling what does this relationship look like now? And also going through the process of being able to build myself up and create this new dynamic between me and my child. In the No Guilt Mom Inner Circle, we talk about this thing called the happy framework that I created. And it is based on the work of Dr. Ross Greene, who wrote The Explosive Child. The happy framework is, instead of dictating to your kids, it's a way to question them about what their thoughts are, what they try to accomplish when we hit certain conflicts with our kids, and then problem solving with them through the situation. And this framework, it is a great, great way to navigate life when your kids are in elementary school, when they're in middle school, when they're in high school. And then by the time they're late teens, sometimes when you ask your kids questions, they will push back on you so hard and get so explosive. You will think that you are doing the wrong thing. And I just want to tell you that you're not. You're not. Because when you use something like the happy framework, when you use this strategy to question and to share your own opinions and to problem solve with them, and then to step back and see what they can do, you're really preparing them to be adults. So if you're interested in the happy framework, come and join us in Inner Circle. By the way, I'll put the link down there. But this is what it takes for kids to survive the world without you. And let me say that again, because it could feel really, really painful. Our kids need to survive the world without us. That is our job as parents. It's to work ourselves out. Hey, I wanted to share a new children's album with you. You have to check out Magnificent by Lotchi. In case you're not in the know, Lotchi is a Grammy-nominated musician and author whose work focuses on inclusion and helping kids feel confident in who they are. It's one of those albums that feels as good for parents as it does for little ones. Magnificent is full of playful, feel-good songs that celebrate self-expression, imagination, and those everyday moments you'll recognize as a parent. It's the kind of music you can put on during the morning routine, in the car, or when your child needs a bit of calm. There's a really gentle message running through the album around confidence and emotional well-being without ever feeling heavy or lesson-led. Just catchy, thoughtful songs that kids can connect with and that you won't mind hearing on repeat. Magnificent is streaming now on all major platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen. If you want to check it out, just hit the link in this episode's description and it'll take you straight there. You know what I wish existed when my kids were little? Great Wolf Lodge. An indoor water park inside your hotel where it's always 84 degrees, especially living in Phoenix where the sidewalks burn your toes. That would have been amazing. At Great Wolf Lodge, the whole family gets to splash around in a massive indoor water park with a wave pool, a lazy river, and water slides that you can all ride together. But here's what's really cool about it. They also have Magi Quest, which is a live action adventure game kids play throughout the entire lodge. It's like the magic never stops and your kids are always occupied. Between the Northern Lights Arcade, the great dining options, and the complimentary dance parties nightly, there's genuinely something for everyone all under one roof. No packing up and driving somewhere every hour. No, I'm bored. Just connection, fun, and honestly, a little magic for you too. With 22 lodges across the country, there's probably one close to you. Check it out at greatwolf.com and bring your pack together. A new school year means new opportunities for positive change, big or small. My son is starting 8th grade, and I could not be more excited for him. He's finally the older kid at junior high, not a Sevi anymore. And he's trying something totally new this year, art class. I have no idea what he's going to think about it. And honestly, that's my favorite part of a new year, watching him figure out who he is. If you're looking for a new path to help your child succeed, there's still time to enroll in K-12 powered online schools. K-12 offers tuition-free accredited online public education for kids in kindergarten through 12th grade, built around your child's own pace with dedicated teachers giving real-time support. It's not too late to enroll for this fall. See how K-12 powered schools can help your child thrive this year and beyond. Enroll online today at k12.com/ngm. That's the letter K, the number 12.com/ngm. k12.com/ngm. Out of the job. Right now, I am at the very difficult transition of letting my daughter take on her own life without me guiding her every step of the way. And it's exactly the transition that needs to happen. So if you're there with me right now, I'm like almost at tears, guys, recording this. But just because I'm at tears doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. It just means like it's an emotionally hard thing. It's an emotionally difficult thing. And yet it is the correct thing that needs to happen. Now, saying that, there are two sides of my brain competing here, because here I am telling you and telling myself all the logical things that are going on. This is emotional distancing. She's developing her own identity, all of that, saying this is normal. This is exactly how it needs to happen. And then there's this ego-driven side of my brain that says, how dare you disrespect me? I have taken care of you for the last 17 years. Oh my gosh, this is making me feel like crap. And wanting to protect that part of myself. Those two things, those two parts of my brain fight against each other all day long. Most days, the logical side does win over, but that logical side loses when I'm overly tired or when I'm stressed or when I'm in a new environment. And it happens. And it's a thing that just needs to be monitored. Let me give you an example. I went on a trip with my daughter this past weekend, and during this trip, there was the typical, frustrated teen comments, the things just being annoyed with me, saying I'm asking too many questions. I am asking too many things. Like, what does she want from Panera? That kind of thing. I say that tongue in cheek, a little passive aggressively, and I don't want to be passive aggressive here. I don't. There's those two sides of my brain fighting. But it got to the point where I was just feeling so unappreciated, and I knew it was going to take that turn that if I didn't say something, I would become passive aggressive and I would start feeling resentful. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to have that happen. There's this concept from the book Crucial Conversations called contributing to the pool of meaning. And you know that thing that people say to you, like they're doing you a kindness, being like, well, I bit my tongue because I wanted the best for this, blah, 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 blah. They're not doing any good there, because when people don't contribute their ideas and their thoughts to this pool of meaning, others don't have any feedback on their own behavior. There will never be any change in circumstances if you don't make your thoughts known. That's not to say you say everything that comes up and crosses your mind. You're, of course, reflecting on your own behavior. You're looking at, hey, like what can I be doing in this situation? Is this a big deal? Well, it got to the point this weekend where I'm like, I need to say something. I need to say something. And it kind of exploded out of me. And I just was like, I am so pissed about this, and this. And we had a great conversation. It hit her hard because something that we don't realize is that teenagers, they're fragile. They have such fragile egos. They do not want to disappoint you as a parent. They do not want to frustrate you. That hurts them. And that really reflects on their own identity. I mean, like there comes tears again, guys. I'm almost crying here because I think about when I was a teen and I desperately wanted to be that good daughter for my parents. And it hit me so hard every time. Like I would hurt them unintentionally. Of course, I just didn't call as much as they wanted. I don't really call as much as they want right now. I didn't like wish them a happy anniversary, that sort of thing. Things that I know hurt my mom so, so much. Like it hit me hard as a teen when she would say those things. And so just know that they want to be there for you, but it does not mean that you hold things back because they are sensitive. It doesn't mean that. You got to contribute to that pool of meaning. You got to tell them how you feel because it gives them the opportunity to change their behavior. And I have to say, after that conversation, I saw some change in the way that she regulated herself when she was talking to me. I didn't expect this to happen perfectly, by the way. And I changed myself too. I decreased my demands and questioning of her. I relied on her to kind of dictate where we were going and when, because I could, because she was becoming a more capable adult every single day. So I just want to say, like, this does come with some pain. Now, the reason for teens being this frustrated with you and this aggravated with you is their brains are developing. A UCLA neuroscientist, her name is Adriana Galvan, and she describes this in such a visual way. So my dad watched Star Trek a lot growing up. I'm sure you were probably familiar with Star Trek as well. So I want you to picture two very old school Star Trek characters, Kirk and Spock. Spock is the prefrontal cortex. He is cautious. He is logical. He thinks about consequences. And Kirk is the impulsive one. He is the limbic system. Emotional, wants what it wants right now. So in a teenager, Kirk develops first. And Spock is still under construction. So they're going head to head there. And the prefrontal cortex doesn't fully take the wheel until the mid-20s. So when I describe, these two parts of my brain fighting at it, and there's probably two parts of your brain fighting at it too. The logical one saying this is all okay. And then the one who is deeply hurt. That's your Spock and Kirk just going at it. And notice when I say that Spock in my brain wins most of the time, but in a teenager's brain, Kirk is going to win most of the time. So they're going to have more impulsivity, more frustration with you and your actions than is deserved, than any other emotionally responsible adult would have. Let's talk about how this is not a reflection on you. It is not. And actually, this could cause some inner reflection for you. You know what I wish existed when my kids were little? Great Wolf Lodge. An indoor water park inside your hotel where it's always 84 degrees, especially living in Phoenix where the sidewalks burn your toes. That would have been amazing. At Great Wolf Lodge, the whole family gets to splash around in a massive indoor water park with a wave pool, a lazy river, and water slides that you can all ride together. But here's what's really cool about it. They also have Magi Quest, which is a live action adventure game kids play throughout the entire lodge. It's like the magic never stops and your kids are always occupied. Between the Northern Lights Arcade, the great dining options, and the complimentary dance parties nightly, there's genuinely something for everyone all under one roof. No packing up and driving somewhere every hour. No, I'm bored. Just connection, fun, and honestly, a little magic for you too. With 22 lodges across the country, there's probably one close to you. Check it out at greatwolf.com and bring your pack together. If I got a notification every time my kids spent money, mine would just be daily fried chicken order confirmed from a different place every single time. Funny aside, that's exactly why I like Cash App's managed accounts for kids ages 6 to 12. No hidden fees, no minimum balance. And here's the part that gets me. Their savings habits and money history carry forward from a parent managed account at 6 to a teen account at 13 to a full account at 18. No switching apps, no starting over. If you're ready to start teaching money habits without adding more stress to your plate, download Cash App and set up a managed account for your child today. For a limited time, new Cash App customers who are parents can use our exclusive referral code FAMILY10 to earn $10. Download Cash App, enter the referral code in your profile, send $5 to a friend within 14 days, and you'll receive $10. Terms apply. Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. Cash App Visa debit flex cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC, and the Bancorp Bank NA pursuant to a license from Visa USA Inc. See terms and conditions for the Sutton prepaid card, Sutton debit flex card, and Bancorp debit flex card. Savings and offers provided by Cash App, a Blanc brand. Parents and legal guardians can open a managed account for kids 6 to 12. Visit cash-app/legal/podcast for full disclosures. Growing up, nobody in my house ever talked about money. I'd go to the bank with my dad, but when it came to my own spending, I never had a number, no budget, like no boundaries of any kind, just guessing. And honestly, money has scared me ever since, and it still makes me a little bit anxious sometimes. That's exactly why I started using Monarch. For the first time, I could actually see everything in one place. And I found out almost 15% of our income quietly going to stuff like I couldn't even name, nor could I remember what was purchased. Now I know where every dollar goes, and that anxious feeling has finally started to ease up. My favorite part is the AI weekly recap. It's like having a little financial advisor in your pocket, minus the judgment for my last Target run. Write your own money story with Monarch. Use code NOGUILT at monarch.com to get your first year of Monarch Core half off at just $50. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code NOGUILT. So there was a study, and it was fairly long ago in 1987, but it really illustrates a great point. It was 129 families with their first teenager, and these teenagers were aged 10 to 15, and they found something really interesting about mom's sense of well-being. Mom's sense of well-being dropped as conflict with the teen got more intense. Do you feel this happening with you now? Like you don't feel quite as stable in your position. But here's what else is interesting. Dads didn't move at all. Not at all. So if you're right now going to your husband and being like, oh my gosh, like, this hurts me so much. And your husband's like, I don't know, I just don't look at it that way. Guys, we're not alone here. And the same study also found that parents going through their own midlife identity questions, those questions about who am I? What do I value? What is my purpose? Had kids who showed more emotional independence, especially same-sex parent-child pairs. So if you have a daughter and you're a mom, this could be happening. Said plainly, when your teen is figuring out who she is, it can stir up your own unfinished questions about who you are at the exact same time. And I've talked about this on the podcast before. I went through this last year when we were going on college tours. I completely reevaluated my own life and what was going on there. I ended some relationships. I started some new activities, and I'm nurturing new relationships. And it's been a game changer. And it's no coincidence that this happened as my own daughter is trying to figure out who she is. I want to give you something tactical that you can use, though, in the moment when these insults and these aggravations and these frustrations are coming your way. Something that is often said to me is, Mom, you need to start getting ready because you have horrible time management skills. And I'm like, ouch. Like, stab me right there. And I have a hard time figuring out what to say in the moment. And then if I don't say it right there in the moment, I'm like, oh, I missed my chance. Why can't I think fast enough? Right? I go through all of those self-blaming and self-shaming things that we talk about a lot on this podcast and we talk about in the No Guilt Mom Inner Circle. That is the voice of my Bob. Bob is my inner critic telling me everything that I do wrong, that I'm constantly negotiating with. So if you are getting some of these kind of barbed insults right now, a little easy phrase I have taken is you could say, thank you. I'm handling my time management well on my own. I've got this under control. And maybe you need to say it to yourself in the mirror a few times first so that you believe it yourself. Because the way you say it, you need to say it with a sense of confidence, not passive aggressiveness, because this is a really easy one to go passive aggressive on. You're like, oh, thank you. I'm handling it well on my own. Thanks a lot. Rather than this sense where you put like 2 feet flat on the floor, you deepen your voice and you say, thank you. I'm handling this really well on my own. And that's it. Because I have to say, if you are an ADHD or you're a neurodivergent mom like me, I mean, I understand it. We grew up thinking we're the problem. We really did. We were told we're too sensitive. We're told that we don't have our acts together. We're not on time. We're constantly late. We're constantly distracted. And so my automatic response in those times is like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And it doesn't serve us. It just doesn't serve us. It doesn't serve our own sense of well-being either. So when a teen pushes back, the brain goes straight to, I have to fix this. It's me. I'm the problem. I just want to tell you, you are not the problem. You're not the problem. You are an adult who clearly has her life together because number one, you're taking the time to listen to this podcast and grow yourself. Number two, you have children that you have kept alive. You're doing quite well. You're doing quite well. There is this therapy strategy. It's called internal family systems. It is something that my own therapist uses on me. Now, I'm not saying this as a therapist or as a mental health professional in any means. I am not trained to be one. Just sharing it from my own experience. I frequently get asked the question by my therapist. I hate this question, but it is really a helpful question. How old is this part of you? How old is this part of you who is apologizing for being late or apologizing for being too much or too loud or too distracted? How old are they? And when you look at it, you're like, this part of me isn't an adult. It is definitely someone around the age of 12, 13, who is thinking that they're the problem, who desperately wants to be noticed by adults, to be noticed by their peers, to fit in, that they are striving and they are trying to constantly change themselves. And all they want is to feel loved and be connected with others. They don't want to be the outsider or the problem who has trouble finishing things and managing their own time. And I share this with you to help give yourself a little bit of self-compassion. This part of you is really old. I mean, old in the way that it's been with you for a very long time, but young in the way that it reacts when it's challenged, when it comes into conflict. So ask yourself, how old is this part of you that gets so hurt by your teen's accusations and frustrations? Okay, let's all take a deep breath there. We have gone into a lot in this episode. We've talked about how what your teen is doing right now, how their attitude, it's not a reflection on you, but something very normal called emotional distancing, and that they are establishing their own identity during this time as well. We've talked about how there's two sides of your brain fighting for attention. The logical side that says this is all normal, and then the more ego-driven side that just feels so disrespected, and how we're constantly navigating it. And our teens are navigating it as well. And we've also talked about how your sense of well-being is just dropping as this conflict increases, and that's totally normal. And so many of us are going through it as well, right along with you. And I want to say thank you so, so much for being here today, giving yourself the time, giving yourself the space. Before I go, the event I mentioned, Mom Setting Boundaries, it starts August 10th. It's completely free. If you're the mom who feels like she has to do everything for everyone and doesn't get to say what she needs, I mean, hello, I'm raising my hand. Come and grab your free ticket. I am hosting. I have such a lineup planned for you. You're not going to want to miss it. The link for that is in the show notes. And until next time, remember, the best mom is a happy mom. Take care of you. I'll talk with you later.
Class is now in session. And the UPS Store is here to help you ace arriving on campus. Our certified packing experts can pack everything you need, from desktops to decor. Plus, when you pack and ship with us, you get our exclusive pack and ship guarantee. Your items arrive safe or your money back. Restrictions and limitations apply. To get a 20% off packing coupon and for full details, visit theupsstore.com/package.